Greetings, I'm Raining Moon, and welcome back to Oak Moon Grove. Today I want to discuss with you foraging in a sustainable way, with honor and respect for nature and the plants. Mother Earth loves us, and it's evident in all of the abundance of the earth, all the plants that offer us food and medicine for when we're sick. And there is a way to honor the plants when you are foraging and harvesting. It's very important to remember. First, we never take more than we need. And if there is an abundance of a certain species of plant that you would like to forage, it's wise to make sure that if there is a whole lot of that species of plant, like a great multitude of these plants, that you don't take more than you need and never take more than 20% of anything. Always leave most of it where it is. If there are too few number of that plant, then I would not harvest it and I would just move on to a different area where there might be more of this plant. If the plant is over harvested and hardly anything is left, then the plant won't propagate and be there the next year if you do need to harvest for medicine or food again. And also keep in mind that you are not the only being who may need to use this plant for either food or medicine. There are many animals and insects that we are sharing this earth with. So please keep that in mind. And also, when we are harvesting, when we go to harvest the plants, speak to the plant. Introduce yourself and tell the plant what it is that you would like to harvest it for. If it is to feed you, if it's for feeding your family, if it's this for use of medicine for this specific illness. And leave yourself open to an energetic response from the plant. So clear your mind of any of your own thoughts and emotions and be open to picking up on what this plant feels about what you want to harvest it for. And you may feel a yes, this is okay, or a no. And then respect that. So when you're harvesting also, you want to make sure that you use a knife or scissors. Never yank or pull on a mushroom or a leaf or a flower, because you might damage the delicate root system of the mushroom. So use a knife to cut it at the base, or if you're taking a leaf or a flower, you can use scissors or a knife to cut it so you're not tearing up the plant and causing it more stress. This is a respectful way to do the harvesting as well. And you may want to leave an offering. Quite often I have a bottle of water it's spring water that I leave out on the full moon to catch the energy and the rays of moonlight. And I will use this as an offering of thanks and make sure to thank the plant for sharing its food, its medicine with you. And then don't waste it. So, another thing that's important for foraging also that, I mean, you don't have to do this, but it's a good thing to consider, is the moon phase. And you may think that the moon phase has nothing to do with it, but the moon really does affect us. It affects humans, if you think of how moon cycle affects the women's cycle, and it pulls and pushes the tides, right? It affects the tides on the planet, the water on the planet. And both us, the animals, and the plants have water within them. So it does have an effect on us. It affects the plants as well. So on the full moon, water is kind of pulling up through the plant and bringing up all of that vitality. So it makes the plant really fully open in its blossoming, and that is really, I feel, an ideal time to harvest. Even if you look back at farmers' almanacs and the way that our ancestors often harvested for farming, they often did use the moon cycle. So you may want to keep that in mind as well. And when you are harvesting, do it in a caretaker mentality. Tend to the land. So there may be, let's say that you need a sassafras root, and for that you are actually killing the tree, and you need to pull up a sapling. You may find an area where there are many saplings all crowding each other. And that's the kind of situation where if you are pulling up one of those saplings, you are making it so the other ones won't have to compete as much, because remember, they need light and nutrients, and the plants compete against each other as well. So you may take one that looks like it's kind of under another or really struggling, and then ask permission with that. Or if you need leaves from a plant or a flower, don't go for, the biggest flower, and let that be the plant's offering to the earth. Instead, if you need a leaf, try to go for the leaves that are underneath and not getting as much light and are struggling. Those are the ones more to forage for. And when you're opening up to the plant and speaking to the plant, you can ask it, if you need to take the whole tree, the sapling, to get at its roots, and you are choosing one that's in an area where they're all kind of crowding around each other and competing, you can speak to it and tell it, who you are and what you would like this root for, or this sapling, and ask if it is willing to give its life, because that's what it would be doing in order for its brothers and sisters to thrive. And you may be surprised that the plant is actually very willing, very generous in giving of its life most times. It's touching if you thought of how, if humans even thought of being so self-sacrificing for each other. Plants are just amazing, and they're very generous, very giving to us, and we should respect and honor that, and remember that, we can breathe because the plants are here on this planet. They are the lungs of the planet, and they're always giving to us. So remember to honor them, be respectful to them, give back, plant native species of plants and herbaceous, just flowers, native trees, give back. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I wish you love, serenity, and grace. Namaste.